Good evening and thanks for joining us. Here is the latest update as of 8 o'clock this evening. The reason we want to break in just to kind of let you know that there are possible tornadoes across the area at this point. I think that's going to be the key as we continue to move forward. Notice the big red box out there. That is a tornado watch across the area. As you notice, that's where Laura sits, just a few miles now from the coast. We're starting to see some of those outer rain bands across the region, and that right now is one of the biggest concerns, is that we're seeing multiple tornadoes possibly spawn across the area. So far, we've only had one confirmed tornado, but there is the potential for a few more on the way. You can see a couple of these outer bands just a little bit east of New Orleans, sliding now through the capital area. Already seeing multiple tornadoes across the area, and the concern is they just did a discussion, and it looks like that red highlighted box, as you see right here, that is a tornado watch until 9, but as you see, it's 8 o'clock now. They're going to most likely extend that at least through the evening hours, probably well past midnight, because there is that potential threat. As we start to see this system, Laura, make its way inland, we could even be seeing some embedded supercells in some of these outer bands that could produce some pretty decent sized tornadoes heading into the early morning hours of tomorrow. We're talking time frame between midnight and probably about 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. So as you see here, again, the threat is enhanced right now, so that's on the high side for western portions of the viewing area. Slight risk for areas just a little bit further towards the east at this point. And notice here, again, we continue to see those rain bands start to filter in. A little bit of lightning out there. Now that main band kind of sliding from East Baton Rouge Parish through the Felicianas, and all that goes all the way down into St. James and St. John the Baptist Parish. Well, here again, you can see the latest of tornado warnings. We're probably up to about 15 to 16 tornado warnings already throughout this afternoon and early evening. And as you see, we've got 3 more here, all expected to last just a few more minutes, again, until about 8:30. If you do live in any of these areas, say from Centerville, the Clinton area, if you live underneath that red box, I'll zoom in just a little bit further just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So again, if you live in the Jackson area, a little bit north of Zachary Central, take shelter immediately. The cell is moving towards the northwest at 30 miles per hour. And again, this first tornado warning is in effect until 8:15. The other one, which is right in the middle, that one is in effect now until we're seeing 8:45 now, moving into southern Mississippi. It's heading northwest now at 30 miles per hour. So again, take shelter immediately. If you live in Phelps and Gloucester, Darlington, and Centerville, you guys are currently under the gun as we speak. And the one to the far east, just along I-55, that warning is in effect until, let me see here, I'm looking for a time. That one seems to be in effect until, what is it, 8:15, I believe. And again, if you live in the Amite area or the Roseland area, that's where you need to take shelter immediately. All of these so far are Doppler indicated. Nothing is confirmed at this point. We've only, again, had one confirmed tornado today, or visible sighting out there from a trained spotter. But elsewhere, these are all just Doppler indicated, but it doesn't mean that they aren't there on the ground causing some damage as we speak. So just be on the lookout. We're moving into the nighttime hours, and it's starting to get darker and darker out there. And just stay weather aware, because we could have the potential for power outages overnight, and that's obviously one of our biggest issues. And you see right now, as of 8 p.m., 150-mile-an-hour winds with Laura as it continues to walk itself closer and closer to our coastline. Now 95 miles. That's not far from Lake Charles, because you got to think about it. Lake Charles is about, I think, 20, 30 miles inland. So to the coastline, we're talking only about 60 miles out there, and at a pace of 15. It's about 4 hours, so right around midnight, we're going to be seeing landfall. It continues to head north-northwest now at about 15 miles per hour. But overall, the track has shifted, I think, just a hair back towards the east, kind of showing you some of those steering winds out there. We really haven't seen much in the way of dry air getting entrained into the system, but a little bit of shear now kind of towards that northwestern quadrant. And again, that's kind of helping to fan it out a little bit, but it still seems to be holding together at this point. I think that shear is just way too late. Good news is I think once it gets inland, it's going to rapidly collapse or fall apart and weaken. And I think that's the key here, because you see Category 4 possibly around Lake Charles, but then after that point, it should weaken maybe to a Category 1 tropical storm, a very strong one across the northern half of the state, and then quickly race through Arkansas, Tennessee Valley, and towards those mid-Atlantic states. But obviously for us, we're in it for the long haul. Again, this is a very massive system with a very large wind field. We're talking hurricane force winds about 60 miles from the center and tropical storm force winds nearly 200 miles from the center. So again, we're definitely going to get the impacts here in the capital area, and my biggest concern are these feeder bands, which they continue to show up on all the models. And that's what's alarming, because as you see here, you get underneath one of those rain bands, easily 2 to 3 inches per hour. We could start seeing some of that heavy rainfall move in around 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and that could potentially last until about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. Notice right on top of us with more heavy rainfall, potentially until late morning. So if you do the math, you're talking quite a few inches of rainfall for a lot of areas, and that's why we need to keep an eye on our river stages out there. And in fact, we may not even take a break until potentially Saturday with another wave coming through on Friday. So once again, as you look at the big picture out there, we've got a wind advisory for eastern portions of the viewing area, mainly east of the Mississippi. West of the Mississippi, we're talking a tornado warning, a tropical storm warning in place. And then as soon as you get past Acadiana, it's all hurricane warnings now in place. And you see the likelihood for tropical storm force winds. All we have to do is get to about 39 miles per hour. And I believe that's going to happen. We've already had some reported tropical storm force winds along the coastline around Vermilion Bay between there and Morgan City. So again, the winds are really starting to pick up as Laura is approaching our coastline. So here you go. Looking at the big picture, again, easily going to see some winds 40 plus for the area. A lot of areas out west, 100 plus winds at times, even for us. For mid 40s, possibly 50s as we make our way into the evening hours. In fact, even we're talking 8 o'clock in the morning, we could still be having winds up to 40, 50 miles per hour out there, and obviously stronger in some very strong thunderstorms. So again, we could even be seeing a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings kind of pop up across the area, and I think that would be one of our biggest concerns at this point. So here you go, looking at the big picture again. This is the reason for concern, and this is why they mentioned earlier in that press conference, they said unsurvivable storm surge, because we're talking about 2 stories of water moving inland, and you can see what that does. Notice there's the potential for water making it all the way inland to about I-10, maybe even north of there in the Lake Charles area. So again, that is very catastrophic. As you see, flash flood watch for the entire viewing area. On average, 3 to 5 overall rain, but locally in those feeder bands, you can see those numbers could quickly jump, and it still seems like those bands are going to continue to set up across the capital area heading into the early morning hours. You can see some of those bands out there just around Baton Rouge, right across the river, going all the way down to about Vermilion Bay. Seeing a nice little heavy band of rain, potentially up to 8+ inches of rainfall. Notice around Lake Charles, maybe even up to about 12 to 16 inches of rainfall. And once again, here are those impacts, 3 to 5 higher rain bands. Keep an eye on the river levels. We're obviously going to keep you up to date with the latest information. If we get any reports of flash flooding, please let us know too. That way we can relay it to all of our other viewers out there, because we want to keep everybody safe. Isolated tornadoes out there, the biggest threat that's already happening from some of those outer bands, and you got to believe this is just a beginning, because again, those bands are going to continue to move further and further inland over the next couple hours. Again, we're still expecting to see landfall probably just around midnight or slightly after. And yes, we will see tropical storm force winds across the area. I think sustained winds most likely 25, 35 on average. Hurricane force winds a little bit closer to Acadiana at this point. And one more time, I just wanted to show you, again, you can see the potential impacts from those outer feeder bands. And yes, we do have tornado warnings in place. These are Doppler indicated, nothing quite yet confirmed at this point, but all of these thunderstorms are producing or capable of producing isolated tornadoes out there. So right now, for the time being, if you live in any of these parishes, northern East Baton Rouge Parish, portions of Livingston, St. Helena, east and west Feliciana and southern Mississippi. Again, pay attention to the weather. I know there are a lot of things going on, but pay attention to the weather this evening. And again, if we do have more information that comes about as we head into the early evening hours, again, there is that threat because we got another band kind of moving in from the south that we could also see more and more thunderstorms develop. And notice again, it looks like we got another feeder band, one of the main bands of Laura, just about to push into Morgan City. So again, they continued that tornado warning now for Amite and St. Helena Parish. So that is now in effect until 8:45. So that's another half hour out there. It's moving towards the northwest at 30 miles per hour, and it's currently located just around Greensburg, which is, again, it's this tornado a little bit further north. Right here, it's the one on the far eastern edge, a little bit closer to I-55, moving just a hair west of the Kentwood area. And you can also see out here again more tornadoes possible, one around Jackson and one just north of the central area. So again, please stay safe out there. We're going to watch. Again, you can see some of that heavier rainfall already starting to move in along those barrier islands. And notice again, even some of that just around Cameron, starting to see some of the rain start to pick up. So overall conditions are going to quickly deteriorate over the next couple hours by the time we get to about midnight. And as you see here, again, it's such a massive wind field. We're going to start to see a lot of this start to move in, even for us, or portions of the viewing area, probably within the next 2 hours. So again, you can see it's a massive eye, which is incredible out there. Yeah, this is a beast of the storm, and potentially it could be one of the strongest hurricanes to ever make landfall in Louisiana. Again, we're just on verge of seeing this guy becoming right now a Category 5 hurricane. So we're talking a strong Category 4 at this point. And once again, at least they allowed that one. So here's the very latest information. I just wanted to see what it was. And again, they allowed that tornado warning to expire around the Jackson area and the Zachary area, so East Baton Rouge. So again, most of these are just a little outliers, and it looks like that other cell kind of collapsed, the one that sits just to the west, so just around Centerville. Just keep an eye on the one around the Greensburg area for some potential rotation. And yes, we will continue to monitor this other band that is currently moving in. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you download the app for the very latest information out there. It has all the tools that you currently need to stay ahead of this storm. We're going to continue to keep you up to date with hourly updates. If something is warranted, we'll break in sooner. We'll also continue on multiple platforms. Television at 9 o'clock, we'll have our Fox News evening newscast. At 10, we'll be back on NBC, and we will continue to come with more updates until the system makes landfall here on our website, and we're going to continue to stream that obviously through the evening hours. If you have questions or concerns, please drop us a line. We're also streaming on Facebook, so there are multiple outlets. I want to make sure that you are at ease as the storm arrives. Thanks for watching.